Fatal Inferno. Mysterious fire incinerates historic Los Angeles home.
This morning, smoke and debris from a house fire alerted residents late this evening. The fire had already spread rapidly by the time firefighters arrived due to brush and wind conditions. Fire officials expect the blaze to be extinguished within the next few hours, but are advising local homeowners in the area to evacuate. The search for an LA sewer worker is beginning to look grim as police and family end their seventh night looking for Luis Salvador after he failed to return home last Friday. Salvador was last seen entering a manhole in Hollywood to carry out a routine inspection. Salvador's family is hopeful that the husband and father of three will return safely and urge anyone who might have seen Salvador to contact the police. Simon Milligan, host of local cable show Haunted LA, and his crew are reported missing tonight. The team of the popular supernatural-themed program were filming around downtown Los Angeles, according to the show's producer, but friends and family of the crew started to worry when they failed to return from a night of shooting. No trace has been found yet of the Haunted LA team, and rumors by the show's fans speculate the crew met a supernatural end, though police disagree and have started a sweep of the areas where the crew was filming. Police are now confirming that they suspect foul play in the disappearance of the Elizabeth Dane's crew. There is evidence that suggests the crew or several members of the crew were slain, though no names are being released at the moment. One piece in the Elizabeth Dane's cargo was revealed as the Ankaran sarcophagus. Discovered at a dig in Turkey, the sarcophagus was on its way to the Los Angeles Museum of Natural History for a detailed analysis and exhibition. Authorities are expected to release the sarcophagus to the museum in the next few days. Firefighters are trying to contain a flash fire.
I need to warn the anarchs before going to LaCroix.
I beg your pardon.
Find your missing Malkavian?
A pile of ashes and the shadow of Nines across it.
Beg your pardon?
I saw Nines at Mad Doctor's mansion, and now the doctor is dead.
I don't know. I don't know what score Nines would have to settle with a primogen. Come on, this can't be right.
The veil of madness is often mysterious.
This is a total smear job. LaCroix can't meet Nines head on, so this is how he's gonna shank him.
It may be such a shank.
LaCroix ain't gonna make friends on the street with these moves. Underhanded shit like that catches up to you. Usually gets paid back in creative and painful ways. Stake you with your own femur, that kind of thing.
Should I share this secret with the LaCroix?
You do what you gotta do.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Where is he with the name of numbers?
You went to go look into something. Why?
I saw your street prints at the Primogen's palace.
Say what?
Nines may have nixed the pathological primogen.
Yo, that's bullshit. I don't know if you were put to this or what, but you best not be saying that shit too loud. I know what he's out doing, and it doesn't have anything to do with the Camarilla. They're not our only concern.
I will ponder this in my mind maze.
Heard anything?
There are rumors isn't to field hockey players.
Got it. Keep it up.
I wonder something from your mind.
Yeah?
The number for a name.
I think you better go. No one wants to talk about this right now.
The frustration looms like a cigarette smoke. I have no place here.
Heather? Het? Where are you?
Ha.
Play with me?
Bleed for me?
I feel a little bit lightheaded right now. Maybe I should lie down.
Aren't you the gentleman?
I imagine you a lot, Deb. Like I said, I'm all by myself, and it does get lonely here. Sometimes a man can't help himself, especially when I hear you. It's like your hair straddling my...
Greg, there's a little thing called too much information.
A sacrifice from a
Caller,
friend.
You're whiling away
A bishop is sacrificed for the king.
Good evening, Deb.
Yes, I think that's implied by the title.
Evening there. Something burning? Ooh, smells like someone burnt the burgers.
My nose knows no such thing. Send me to LaCroix.
Sure, I'll open her up for you. Jeez, I could go for one of them double-spaced burgers with the onions and the cheese and some bacon and a guacamole. Ooh.
I'm going up.
The Primogens still haven't been contacted by Grout. I thought I made it clear that you were not supposed to come back until we had heard from him.
We no longer hear the voice of Grout.
Grout's dead? What?
Who is Bach? Why does he want to set me on fire?
Bach! Every time I think he's lost the scent. So, Bach killed Grout to draw me out.
Grout was not hunted, he was disposed of.
Bach is a hunter. They stalk and kill our kind to appease their god. But like many mortals, their so-called faith is nothing but a conduit through which they quench their killing urge. Who else would have killed Grout?
Grout minus Bach equals 9s. He was the sum I saw first.
Look at me. Are you sure it was Nines Rodriguez? Because if it was, the consequences... Do you know where this might lead? Do you really have any idea?
This one does not know, but he knows something was not 9s.
It means, under most circumstances, I would call a blood hunt on the murderer immediately. However, the anarchs of this city may interpret such an action to be a declaration of war. I do not want a war with them. This decision will take some time. I need to confer with the Primogen on this. In the meantime, I've come to a decision on the Ankaran sarcophagus, and I believe that for the safety of the inhabitants of this city, we need to place the sarcophagus under Camarilla protection until its contents can be confirmed. You're becoming quite indispensable to me. So, out of all my available personnel, I'm going to entrust the retrieval of the sarcophagus to you. It was quietly delivered to the Museum of Natural History a few hours ago.
Oh, but I...
Let me finish. The manifest from the Dane shows there was a small box from the same dig on board, but it was listed as missing. Keep an eye open for it. It may have been overlooked. It's crucial we get the sarcophagus in our possession within the next few hours.
My pockets are hungry.
Yes, of course. Here. I can't have one of my representatives running around ill-equipped for their task.
This will speed the sarcophagus to you.
Here are the keys to the front door of the museum. The sarcophagus should be in an examination room of some sort. There's a small security staff on site, but I don't want a massacre. Mortals are just as easy to deceive as they are to kill.
First, my mind wonders something.
One or two, but that's all.
Who is the spider in the web between you and Bach?
My history with that family dates back to Bach's grandfather, who pursued me into Africa, where I killed him. Bach's father tracked me to London to meet his death. And now Bach and the Society of Leopold have followed me across America. They never learn.
Who is Leopold?
Witch hunters. An anachronistic holdover from the Middle Ages. They are inquisitors, whose fanaticism has convinced them that their triumph over the supernatural will save mankind and secure them a cushy spot in heaven.
Why would one hunt blood?
A blood hunt is a death sentence. When one commits a high crime against our society, a blood hunt may be called. It is then the responsibility of the city's kindred to bring the offender final death.
I will take the field trip to the museum now.
There is a degree of immediacy attached to this task. Work fast. And, as on the Dane, you are not to open the Ankaran sarcophagus for any reason. Excuse me.
Done as good.
Where to?
Change my scene.
Stop doing that. Mother shan't be too pleased. None too pleased.
Due to unforeseen though fortunate circumstances, the business of Madame Leota has been translocated on top Santa Monica Pier. How to Museum Heist by Shin the Mock Girl. 1. Have the front key already. 2. Do not scream when you see the dino. 3. Find the open panel. 4. Avoid guards. 5. Obfuscate, if you can. 6. Drop directly to the first floor. 7. Disable cameras. 8. Look for note with door code. 9. Get the key card. 10. Steal the fetish for Pisha. 11. Use the code. 12. Break the security panel. 13. Avoid lasers. And here you have it, a successful heist.
I can't understand why someone would go through the trouble of stealing a box with a very ancient corpse. This city's not that dull.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Beckett. Why am I clapping?
I'm an archaeologist, so I thought I'd indulge in a quick study of this Ankaran sarcophagus everyone's so riled up about. My guess, from what I've read about it, is that it's a mummified Mesopotamian king. I needed confirmation.
Where's the box?
Since it's missing, I'm inclined to believe it was stolen, or intentionally misplaced, if you like. Clearly, though, it's not here.
A supervillain must have stolen it. To the baddie signal.
Interesting choice of words. Weren't you here to take it away? Wouldn't that make you an attempted thief?
I came here because the man in the tower said to. I think.
That definitely doesn't make it theft.
Stolen by. Finish my thought, please.
Every supernatural creature in Los Angeles is suspect, as are most human thieves. I suppose we may want to question magicians as well.
Did you stare at the box? Sometimes I stare at things for hours.
Oh, I really wish I had. All this speculation about the sarcophagus containing an antediluvian and being a portent of Gehenna is making me cringe. These are the kinds of ridiculous, superstitious assumptions I came here to debunk.
The G word makes my thoughts frightened. What is it?
Armageddon, doomsday, the end of all kindred. It's a common facet of most mythologies. Fear that the world will end. Many believe Cain and the antediluvians will return to consume or destroy all kindred. I wholeheartedly disagree.
Tell me the other signs, so I can peel my eyes.
What prophecy doesn't have vague apocryphal signs? Let's see. The usual ones cited are the appearance of thin bloods, Cain sightings, doom, gloom, that route.
And the Dark Father. Where is he?
Cain, who I assume you mean, is the biblical first kindred and founder of the mythological first city, Enoch, a place where kindred and kind coexisted. I believe Cain's a figure concocted to personify the transition from nomadic society to agrarian society. That myth, like most, has been twisted by time.
I want to hear more stories about the thin kindred.
Thin bloods rarely exhibit features or powers of their clan, and many can't embrace. Some are even rumored to have reproduced. Many kindred are terrified that their weak blood heralds the dissipation of every bloodline. Somewhat of an ignorant reactionary response, don't you think?
I want to disagree with you, but I don't know.
As I said, many cultures have the fear of some form of apocalypse. Kindred believed in these stories when they were human, and naturally carried them over into kindred myth. But it doesn't take a supernatural act to cause widespread destruction. Humans and kindred are just as capable of managing their own destruction as a deity. A self-realized Gehenna warrants more vigilance than a god-induced one, don't you agree? Such is my argument, which so frequently falls on deaf ears.
Your stories are a buffet for my mind. How long did it take to prepare the feast?
For 300 years I've been trying to determine the function of our existence, the kindred's role in the world. I'm not content to attribute it to some act of supernatural biblical vengeance. We exist for a reason, and if it takes another 300, I'll figure it out. Any thoughts?
Antelopes exist. Why not vampires?
Can't say I've heard that one before.
Some truths elude me still.
My sentiments exactly, but there's time to rectify that. Well, my work here is stolen away into the night. Think I'll do the same.
If you find the box, please put it in the night deposit slot of the tower. Thanks. Pretty.
Hop in.
Get this big yellow bunny scuttling towards my destiny. Before having to hear the jester complain about the box again, I'll go to Pisha to receive my present. A fetish statue. You can tell just from holding it that there is something definitely odd and supernatural about it.
Yes.
The shrunken man for you, widow.
Yes. This is genuine and of use to me. There is something resonating from it. A whisper. I will give you this in trade. It is known as the odious chalice. It swells with spilled blood and offers its bloat to its owner.
It's an oily tangle of fleshy blasphemy. Thank you. The odious chalice. The perverse creation of a Zemasi fleshcrafter, this abomination is forced to live a tortured eternity in servitude to the damned. As you kill enemies, the chalice will fill with blood. Use the chalice to feed from it and gain its stored vitae.
Love you. Trust me. Oh, excuse me. Starting to doze off there. Oh, I need to get a guard animal of some sort to alert me when folks come in. Maybe one of them chimps like on that show Ape Detective? Oh, that monkey always gets his man.
LaCroix mutters my name perturbedly.
Say, Fruit Pie, if you're still up and about in a few hours, why don't you stop by at the end of my shift and I'll treat you to breakfast, huh? Endless stack of flapjacks, little boysenberry syrup, your security teddy bear.
If my night never ended, I'd build a syrupy Tower of Babel, but I must go.
The folly of leadership is knowing that no matter what you do, behind your back there's hundreds, certain that their own solution is the sounder one, and that your decision was the byproduct of a whimsical dart toss. I pronounce the blast sentence, and I soak the critical fallout. I make the decisions no one else will. Leadership. I wear the albatross and a bullseye.
And the jester's hat. Don't forget that.
Then you can join the crows on the fence after we're done here. The blood hunt on Nines Rodriguez for the murder of Alistair Grout will be called. Rodriguez's execution is only a matter of time. I have lit the fuse. If a war ignites, it's my head they will sharpen the pikes for. At least I can rest easy in knowing that you, my most promising attendant, has relieved me of one encumbrance tonight. Do you need assistance bringing the sarcophagus up to my office?
It was stolen, but there were lots of dinosaurs, so I had fun.
Stolen?
Stolen.
Cemetery runoff congealing at the door.
Gary, you treasonous maggot. I should have anticipated your treachery, sewer rat.
Me too. Who's Gary?
The Nosferatu Primogen. The Nosferatu were responsible for finding out where the sarcophagus was taken after the Dane, and for getting keys to the museum. They were the only ones who knew. It's obvious to me now. My mistake.
The Nosferatu.
I want him found. I want him found. The sarcophagus could be exploited, causing who knows what catastrophe to this city if it were to fall into the wrong hands.
First a dead man, then an old box, now a Gary. It's like a scavenger hunt.
The Nosferatu lurk in the filth below the streets of Hollywood, but not even I know just where they hide. Hollywood is, unfortunately, lacking in any Camarilla loyalties. Hollywood's baron is an anarch named Isaac. Isaac's more civil than the anarchs downtown, but nonetheless, he wears his mistrust of me on his sleeve. He may know how to contact the Nosferatu. Find Gary and get him to talk. That sarcophagus could be used against us. Do not come back until you have it. Now, I must announce the blood hunt and bear the brunt of all consequences. Escort her out.
Listen, kid, you did what you had to do. Just a messenger, right?
Can you decode this conundrum?
It's a ruse by LaCroix so you can call the blood hunt on Nines. Standard smear job, textbook candy bullshit.
Can I aid the anarchs?
You're just eager to please, ain't you? I could give a goddamn, kid, but I'm sure the boys here would appreciate it if you kept the business as usual. You hear me?
I will do what needs be done.
Just a second. I heard you were down poking around the museum.
The jester sent me to take the terrible talisman.
Seems like he has a lot riding on that sarcophagus. He gets such a fierce bug in that powdered wheat of his.
What need has he of this terrible talisman?
I got another scenario for you here, kiddo. Gonna bounce it off you, see what you think. You ever hear of, diablerie?
My ears have never seen such a thing.
Well, it's when a vampire drains another more powerful vampire to death. Diablerie is the Sabbat's specialty, but it's a big taboo in civilized kindred circles, and damn sure forbidden by the Camarilla.
Voodoo, taboo.
When a younger vampire diablerizes an elder, the younger vampire gains all of their powers.
Ha! Dark blood and precious power.
Prince is willing to tear L.A. apart to find this thing so he can have it. Why? What would a power-hungry vampire like LaCroix want with a sleeping ancient? I wonder.
The jester wants his prize. What do I do?
You gotta figure a drop of ancient blood would make any kindred just about invulnerable. Anyone who has a sarcophagus is gonna be thinking the same thing. If LaCroix gets a sarcophagus, at least we know where it is.
Your words ring of truth.
Besides, getting the sarcophagus and getting into it are two different things.
My shadow darkens other domains. Farewell.
Measly fuck, you got a lot of nerve showing up here, Lick.
Why such harsh words? Helter-skelter.
You think her nice. Said he killed a goddamn primogen.
His shadow crossed my path at the Primogen's palace.
I'm willing to believe you were a patsy in all this, but I'll be watching you, kid.
Where is he with the name of numbers?
Don't expect to see him until this bullshit is resolved.
Heard anything?
LaCroix wants that old box from the boat real bad.
It's probably just like the rolls of coffins or something. Lousy aristocrat bastard.
Baffled by its theft, as the museum employs several sophisticated security measures that have foiled previous robbery attempts. Police speculate professional art and antiquity thieves are behind the sarcophagus's disappearance. More on this story as it breaks. Religious tourists have been flocking in droves to the Santa Maria Church in Santiago, Spain, after several pilgrims claim to have seen statues of the Madonna begin crying blood. The site dates back to the period of the Romans and has several reported Weeping Virgin sightings throughout its history. One pilgrim reported that they witnessed blood coming from no less than 6 statues at around sunset, and that the courtyard felt full of sadness. Skeptics have been quick to point out that this phenomena has been debunked, and witnesses are no more credible than those that report UFOs. The Southland slasher struck again, this time in downtown Los Angeles.
Okay, and what do you do, Roger?
I went fishing today, and I caught a big one. Can you hear him flopping around the bathroom? That's how you can tell he's fresh.
No.
So,
Fish
have you
travel
done
in
any other kinds of
schools.
writing?
Where is it?
You don't like fish?
So, if you haven't really written
I just
anything,
thought,
how can you call yourself
it'd be a
writer?
nice change of pace
Because
if
I
you
once
dined
fixed
in
my
for a
toilet, it
change.
doesn't make me a plumber.
Isn't that sweet?
Is there anyone in this city
I
that
withdraw
doesn't call
my
themselves
words.
a writer
Soup's
or
on.
actor or director? Doing a disservice to those who actually make their living in this art forms by deeming yourself something you're not or portraying to be.
Hey, what the hell is this shit? Let me out, goddammit! I'll kill that crazy bitch!
My little girl is a little like me.
Mine too. Are you
Go,
ready for
and we all forget it.
what you
Psycho bitch brought me here, hit me in the head, and locked me up. What the fuck? I mean, who the fuck does that?
She's sorry.
for our writer on the phone?
This is actually very therapeutic for
Is
her.
that okay, line 2?
Therapeutic? As soon as I get out of here, I'm calling the goddamn cops. Let's see what they think of this, huh? I'll have them lock up both your asses.
How will you be able to communicate with a broken jaw and hands?
Oh, come on now. I didn't mean it. I should have known there was something wrong with that broad. Look, I'll give you money. Whatever you want. Just let me go, all right? Please, don't kick my ass. Oh, man, I think I just shit myself.
Give me everything you got, and you walk out of here unscathed.
Guys?
Yeah, here. Take it all. Just please don't hit me.
Leave and be silent, or I'll follow you around the world.
You seem to be getting in the way.
I got the last of the groceries, honey. I just need to close the trunk. Wow!
One more nail and this birdhouse will be as good as new.
Yo!
I'm sorry, sir. This dressing room is for women only.
You don't have to let this happen to you. Hi, I'm Dr. Fred Tuck. Don't let your penis interfere with the
A
quality
gambit
of
from
your
a
life
friend.
anymore.
A gambit has been played. The king leaves himself open. Open immediately, kitten. From Jeanette. Dear duckling. Hi! Guess who? No, guess. Because it's more fun that way, that's why. Oh, kitten, have you already forgotten? It's me, Jeanette. I was just sitting here in my big, boring bedroom all by my lonely self when I noticed I was missing something. You. Amuse me. Please? Waiting for you, duckling. Jeanette. Business in Hollywood from LaCroix. I have a certain financial interest in a restaurant in Hollywood called the Cavaletti Cafe. I have made an offer on the establishment that is more than generous, but it seems the owners are remiss to accept. It is my understanding that a renowned food critic named Tommy Flayton will be writing an article about the restaurant very soon. Please intercept him there and make sure the review is unfavorable. SL. This guy is so small, what an entitled prick.
Master?
I put the fish back in the pond.
I'm really, really sorry. I'll make it up to you, I promise.
When you make that face, I can't stay mad at you. Goodbye, my pet.
I'm being watched. I know it. Something followed me. They could be watching me right now. Make them stop. Make them stop! Get their eyes off me!
If you see the eyes again, blind them.
Yes. If I see the eyes, I'll blind them.
Do so.
Do I still distract you?
Just like the stars. I think tonight is a blood moon.